You ever wonder if there's like one secret, a hidden formula behind some of the biggest fortunes in history? Well, it turns out there is. It's an idea that has quietly created more millionaires than pretty much anything else. And yeah, it's definitely something they skip over in school. So let's get into it.
So our story kicks off with the ultimate underdog. Picture this guy, right? He's got absolutely nothing to his name. Everyone around him is telling him his dreams are just a complete fantasy. He has zero resources, no powerful friends, not even a fancy degree to get his foot in the door.
And yet somehow, just a few years later, he's making more money than the same people who are laughing at him. So how on earth does that happen? Well, it wasn't a lottery ticket, and it wasn't just luck. He had been let in on a secret, a very specific formula for success, handed down from a man who, in today's money, was worth over $300 billion.
To really get this formula, we have to wind the clock all the way back to 1908. This is where a single conversation kicks off a quest that lasts for decades, a quest to figure out the real, fundamental rules of wealth and achievement.
The two people at the heart of this story, they could not be more different. On one side, you've got Napoleon Hill, this young, kind of scrappy journalist just trying to make a name for himself. And on the other, you've got the legend himself, Andrew Carnegie, a steel tycoon who was literally one of the richest and most powerful men on the entire planet.
And just so we're clear on Carnegie's influence, that's his net worth adjusted for today, $300 billion. When someone that successful wants to share a secret, you listen. See, Hill managed to get an interview that was only supposed to be 20 minutes long, a quick chat. But Carnegie saw something in him, and that short meeting exploded into an intense, 3-day marathon session. For 3 straight days, Carnegie just laid out his entire philosophy for success. But at the end of it all, Carnegie didn't just give Hill the secret. Oh no, he gave him a challenge, a massive challenge that came with a huge catch. No pay, no funding, and absolutely zero guarantee that it would ever pay off. So here was the deal. Carnegie told him to spend the next 20 years of his life studying 500 of the world's most successful people. And the whole point was to prove his formula by finding the one single thing they all had in common. It was just an epic, life-consuming mission. And incredibly, Hill said yes. For 2 decades, he got in the room with the absolute giants of the era. I mean, we're talking about innovators like Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, inventors like Alexander Graham Bell, even presidents like Theodore Roosevelt, all in a search for that one common thread. So after 20 long years of digging, what did he find? What he discovered was both kind of shocking and unbelievably simple. It wasn't how smart they were, where they came from, or how much money they started with that connected all of them. It was something else, something deep inside. Okay. This right here is the absolute core of it. See, most of us wish for success. It's this passive hope, right? We're kind of just waiting for life to hand it to us. But the people Hill studied, they didn't wish. They demanded success from life. It was an active, all-consuming obsession for them. And here it is, the secret. Hill called it a burning desire. And this is so much more than just wanting something. It's a purpose that is so clear and so strong that it completely consumes you. And it pushes you to take relentless action, day in and day out, until your goal is a reality. And according to all his research, this intense, laser-focused desire wasn't just, a nice thing to have. It was the absolute, non-negotiable starting point for every single great fortune he ever studied. But look, this isn't just a cool theory. It's a principle that's been proven again and again in the real world. Let's check out one of the most powerful examples of this in action.
So meet Edwin C. Barnes. This guy had one incredibly clear goal. He didn't just want a job with the famous inventor Thomas Edison. No, he was dead set on becoming his business partner, to work with him, not for him.
Barnes literally had no money. He had to ride a freight train just to get to Edison's office. He started at the absolute bottom, doing menial work, but he never ever lost sight of that one big goal. So when Edison came up with a new device that none of his regular salesmen wanted to sell, Barnes saw his opening. He jumped on it and sold it so successfully that Edison basically had no choice but to make him a partner. And this is what really shows you the power of his desire. Even Thomas Edison himself said that when he first met Barnes, who looked like a total mess, he could literally see the determination on his face. This desire was so intense, you could actually see it. And the result of that unbreakable, burning desire? That one partnership made Edwin C. Barnes a millionaire.
all because he flat out refused to give up on the one thing he demanded from life.
Now, this is where a story from over 100 years ago becomes really important for you right now. Because this isn't just about getting rich. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset that you can apply to any big goal you have.
Think of it like this. Without that burning desire, every little setback, every obstacle just becomes another good excuse to quit. But with it, every obstacle becomes fuel for the fire. It becomes a problem to solve, a challenge that pushes you to be more creative, more persistent. It's the difference between your goals just fading away and taking relentless action.
So, it's a good question to ask yourself. If you've been stuck, if your goals keep stalling out, is the real problem a lack of skill or money, or is it a lack of that fire? Is your desire strong enough to burn right through any obstacle that gets in your way?
And you got to remember, this isn't just some feel-good motivational idea. It's a real playbook. It was reverse engineered from the lives of the most successful people in history. It's a proven formula. So that leaves us with one last question. And it's not about what you wish for or hope for or dream about. It's about what you are truly willing to demand from life with everything you've got. What's the one goal you will chase with a burning desire until it finally becomes your reality?